to study everything he talks about, and we'll all use it to watch the presidential debate tonight. Okay? So next week we'll have all kinds of pithy theoretical things to say about the debate. So without further ado, Justin's going to walk us through chapter 3. Okay? Thank you, Justin.
It was after New Year's. I was sitting in the food court at the mall, reading a book on body language. And through this book, I was able to decode the nonverbal messages that are always speaking to us, even though when there's no volume. As I was going through the book, I was able to better understand those slight moves of the chin, what steepling was, that you better back off when someone starts brushing the hair in their back. And it just so happened, this was on a Friday, there just so happened to be a business meeting going on there at the mall. So I took a few steps close by. I didn't want them to think I was watching them, but I was able to depict what each person was. I was able to decode each person's nonverbal expressions in that meeting. And tonight, I selected an image that we can uncover a meaning that we didn't know was already there. And you heard the old adage that a picture is worth what? No, a picture is worth 7 theories. And we're going to go through this picture right here, uncovering 7 theories that are right there. What do you notice? What do you see? What stands out to you? It doesn't have to be deep. Just what stands out. What stands out to you?
Lots of people.
Lots of people. You know what theory that is? That's a semiotic theory. This is a theory that focuses on how signs came to represent objects, ideal states, and situations, feelings, and conditions. And an important thing to point out in this theory is that there's a big difference between signs and symbolism. You know, signs are something that we see, it's objective, but symbolism is quite different. It's how the user interprets the sign. Pick a person. Just pick anyone.
The girl on the very left.
On the very left. This one right here? How do you think she interprets the world around her? I'm not going to let you answer that question, but the phenomenology tradition helps us to better understand an individual's personal experience. And through this tradition, we can come to understand the world through personal experience. And really, it's kind of like everything is relative. You know, it's through through our personal experiences that we can come to better understand communication, and that's going to be different for everyone. A big part of this is interpretation. If we all have those experiences that we just can't name, we can't adequately describe, and being able to put a name on it helps us to better understand our personal experience. Which one's the leader?
Guy with the goatee, because he's on top.
The guy?
His hands on top. Blue shirt, dark hair.
Yeah. Now, the theory that looks at leadership, or really examines each person individually, is the social psychological tradition. And this tradition focuses on the individual as a social being, how information is acquired, processed, and stored. So each person is an individual entity with characteristics leading them to behave in independent ways. And a key component is why I asked the leadership question is persuasion. Persuasion is a very unique characteristic of all leaders, and this theory here helps you to better understand persuasion methods. Who would you select to run for president against the guy with the goatee? Or, which which individual do you think would have a more feasible policy on how to grow the economy than the person with the goatee?
There are two persons with a goatee.
The guy in the end, I think. We need a person that's going to run against them.
The
for
dude in the
president.
plaid, definitely the dude in the plaid.
No. We're saving the dude in the plaid.
Okay.
We're going to come back to him.
The brunette.
The brunette? This one?
Yeah.
Okay, she's going to run against the guy over there for economic policy. They're about to face off. Bam! The cybernetic tradition. Now, the cybernetic tradition is a theory that understands systems. And if I could give you kind of a clear example on that, think of government. We have local, state, and national government. And within that government, the local government could influence the national government, the state, and there's just all kinds of lines going all over the place. Not to mention a bureaucracy. And there's all these kinds of different departments. I mean, just Google, just try to better understand state government to see how many organizations that are actually part of it. And you have all those organizations, with arrows going up to whatever level of government that they're under. And then you have subgroups underneath them. You feeling confused? Is it starting to confuse you? Should be. But the key thing with the cybernetic tradition is it's looking how these systems are going to be effective years from now. And in your textbook, it has a slide kind of like this with all the lines and all the little circles. And a key point that I'd like to point out, if you're looking to affect radical change, especially in the terms of public policy, this is the stuff you need to understand, because this is politics, this is communication, this is how organizations work. All those lines. Let's pick on the guy in the middle. What makes him unique from everyone else in the group? Look at his shirt. What's he have on? Flannel. Is it hard to see? The guy in the center, he has on a flannel shirt. I mean, do you think that he's trying to express his identity or the group that he hangs around with by wearing a flannel shirt? The socioculture tradition looks at these things. They look at how individuals express themselves. And you've all heard the old adage, birds of the same feather tend to flock together. And it's the same way with humans and the groups that they... Oh, you have on a flannel shirt. Is this your buddy? Is he? Yeah. I don't pick on you anymore.
Funny that I got this shirt maybe 2 hours ago as a present for my birthday.
Happy birthday! Maybe it's his birthday.
We'll sing to you later. But one chooses to live out their identity in a group. And these individuals have shared characteristics, they dress the same, they have shared ideologies. And sociocultural tradition can help one to better understand that. And which individual in this picture has a physical disadvantage? The guy with the wheelchair. And is it true that society is structured in such a way that if you have a physical disadvantage, you're kind of put at a disadvantage in society? That's what critical theory examines. Critical theory looks at the power structures dominating society to be seeking to uncover oppressive social conditions and to promote liberation. And we have something current going on in Charlotte that relates to this, and we all know what it is. But we can see that theory applying to the activist work of Black Lives Matter in Charlotte and all around the country. And critical scholars are interested in how messages reinforce oppression in society. Coming full circle, as we look at this picture, the individual characteristic that stood out to you, that you said, hey, oh, that I see, that's what stands out to me. How would you craft that into a speech? That is the rhetorical tradition. And this is quite simply, it's speech making, but it's the construction of a text or artifact for a particular audience. To be successful, order arranges symbols and words in such a way to convey his or her meaning clearly to the audience. Now, one picture is worth 7 theories, but before I step off the stage here tonight, can we name the theories? As I point and give you hints. Everyone together. We're just ask you, what do you see? Semiotic theory? Okay. What is this lady thinking?
Something phenomenal, something phenomenal.
Yes.
Then you said phenomenological.
Phenomenological, right.
That's.
It's about phenomenon, right? It's about things that affect you, so they're phenomena.
The guy in the goatee being a leader. Socio, yep. Lady ran up against him for president. Remember the lines and organizations? Cybernetic. The guy in the center.
Sociocultural.
Sociocultural. Wheelchair.
Critical.
As we're to step back from this, so to give a speech on it. Yep, and there you have it. A picture is worth 7 theories. Dr. Pupchak.
Thank you so much. I don't expect everyone to be that polished, but that was one of the best first presentations I've ever seen in my life. Fantastic. That was a great way, great mnemonic device and interesting approach and a lovely way to break it down. So do you have anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, a question was brought up, how can I prepare for the, what was the project? The capstone project. One of the ways you could prepare is sharpening your communication skills. I'm part of an organization called Toastmasters International. And what Toastmasters International is it's an organization that helps you become a better leader and a better speaker. There's a curriculum that you go through in Toastmasters. You go through 10 speeches, and you go through a leadership track. And what that does is it gives you those soft skills that are so vital in today's corporate world. For example, because of the mentorship and the individuals that I've been able to meet at Toastmasters, I've understood how to put a presentation together without using notes, how to use the stage and why. And I've been able to take that and apply that when I'm doing a job interview. And just little things like that have been so helpful. And another part is the individual up here is talking about coaching. Is Toastmasters is you deliver a speech and you get feedback. Deliver a speech and get feedback. So it helps you to grow exponentially. But that also works on your own leadership ability as well, and being able to figure out what is it in this speech that this individual did very well, and how could I pick out one thing that they could do better. And that helps you to grow as a leader and as a speaker. So that's one area that you could look at to become involved in.
Okay, thank you so much. And would it be possible for you to put a link or put that up on your
It'll be on the
Okay,